Hi everyone! What's going on here? It looks like I'm doing laundry or something, doesn't it? This is just a towel I have down. This towel has been actually washed in my washing machine on the sanitize setting so that it killed anything that may be living on the towel. Now under the towel I have sheet vinyl put down over my slate work surface that I normally work on, because we're going to be making lotion today and we want everything completely sanitary, sanitized, sterile, and clean. All those things mean the same thing perhaps, but I just want to make sure you're clear what I'm referring to. The gloves themselves have been bleached, sprayed with alcohol, and are perfectly sterile. And everything that I touch has been sterilized or is being sterilized, as I'm about to show you. So first thing I'm going to show you is I have a bucket here. The bucket itself was completely sterilized with near boiling water to begin with, soapy water washed thoroughly, then washed in a bleach solution, and then sprayed with 99% alcohol to kill anything that possibly might be on it. Then I put my items to be sanitized and sterilized that I'll be using in the lotion that I'm making today in here as well. Now, why am I going to this trouble? So that's why the towel is down, by the way, because I'm going to be spreading everything out on the towel to dry, because it has to dry before we can use it. And you want to air dry wherever possible, whatever you're using. So I've got several items here that I'm going to be using today, and all of those have been sterilized or are being sterilized. Now, why am I doing this? For what purpose, you might ask? Because I'm going to be making a lotion today using goat milk. I haven't made one of these in a long time for you all. I make them locally and sell them and give them away, but I haven't sold the goat milk in my store for a while because, well, not just the precautions that have to be taken, but there are extra precautions you have to take using goat milk over using just water, which also requires all of these same precautions. However, because goat milk is an organic, the opportunity for bacteria, for mold growth, for nasty things to grow in your lotion are exponential. Now this lotion, of course, will have a preservative in it. It has to have a preservative naturally to prevent mold, bacteria, yeast, any of those nasty things that can grow inside, well, lotions that have water, that have anything else in them that's liquid, that's not oil or wax. And so for that reason, you have to take great precaution to make that preservative that you're going to be using. And in this case, I'm using Germ-X Plus. I will tell you that using goat milk is something a lot of people do and keep refrigerated because goat milk lotion is more susceptible to any kind of introduced material. So that's why I'm taking all of these precautions. So a lot of people refrigerate it. I personally, what I make for myself, when I make my goat milk lotion, I sterilize it. Actually, I've got one more thing in there I need to get out. I have a piping tip down in here. That's why I will use this actually to put my lotion into some of the bottles, because it's going to be really thick. Anyway, where am I going with this? So you want to make sure you're taking every possible precaution you can to keep it safe. Now, if you do buy goat milk lotion from me or anyone else, I suggest you use it and use it as quickly as you can within 30 to 60 days. and refrigerate it in between usage. Now you'll see companies out there that sell commercial goat milk lotion. And I will tell you that most of them are not using whole goat milk. Many are using a fat-free powdered goat milk, which has been itself processed beyond any recognition to what's in my fresh goat milk, or most other of you that raise your own goats and have fresh goats and know the beneficial qualities of that. So for that reason, you just have to take a lot more precautions when you're using fresh goat milk. So if this is something you're interested in yourself and making yourself, do take all these precautions. Please, 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 and do your research on the products that you make. It's vital for the safety of your customers and for yourself as well. I know that this is safe, what I make for myself, because I know what precautions I take to make it. But you don't know that, right? You don't know me except for what you may have seen here on videos over the past 3 years. But I have a much longer history than YouTube. And I do know the proper precautions to take to make this as safe as I possibly can make it. I know when you receive it, you are receiving a safe product. But after it gets to you and you stick your fingers in it, if you do that, or you get it wet on the spout and water gets inside it, that's out of my control. So you also want to take your own precautions. As I said, it will have a preservative in it, a good broad spectrum preservative to protect you. But even with a broad spectrum preservative, you can still introduce harmful things. I mean, I wouldn't tell you this if I didn't believe what I'm telling you. I've purchased goat milk lotion from someone before that did go moldy, and I've kindly explained to them why I believe that it happened. We actually got on the phone and talked. They sent me another bottle, which I really didn't want. I kind of lost my trust in them when that happened. But they sent me another bottle, and I never used it, I'm going to be honest with you, but I knew that they were a small producer and I didn't want to ask for a refund. And the whole purpose was I wanted to see what someone else's product was right. Now, I'm not saying that I haven't tried other goat milk products that were good products. I'm just saying in this particular instance, it wasn't such a good product, okay? Or at least as far as the sterilization and safety of it goes. So anyway, I'm leaving these things out here to air dry. Once these are dry, we'll start putting this together. Sound good? All right. See you back in a few minutes. Hi, and welcome back, everyone. Here I have my oil and wax ingredients here. Let me zoom in a little so you take a closer look at what we've got here. A little more. There we go. Here we have the primary butter here is mango butter, because mango butter is one of the richest and the most decadent and probably, in my opinion, one of the most luxurious of the butters for lotions and creams. It tends to make a much less greasy product when used as a primary butter in lotions and creams. It's a little more expensive, but I think my customers are worth it, and I certainly am. I still love shea butter, I love cocoa butter and cocoa butter, and there's a bit of each of those here as well. But the primary butter, these larger blocks here, are the mango butter. Over here we have some stearic acid, which adds creaminess to lotions and creams, and again helps with the absorption into our skin. Of course, this is a milk-based product, which is mostly water. That's what milk is. So it's easily absorbed into the skin and helps to create a protective barrier. Over here we have the emulsifying wax. Wax is what brings it all together. There are some folks that use beeswax, but beeswax is not very good. It's not a very good emulsifier. It is a it's just not made for that. It just does not emulsify as well. It can look great when you first make it, but it doesn't hold together and creates a lotion or cream that can separate and actually be much harder to use. So I don't use beeswax as a rule in lotions and creams unless it's a special request, and then it's up to the purchaser, of course. But emulsifying wax, and this is made from coconut, so it is as organic and as safe a product as you can buy, as are all of the ingredients here. So I'm going to get these on the double boiler. It'll take about 10 minutes to get them melted down. Then we're going to bring them together with our goat milk and put this together into a decadent, wonderful lotion. So come along with me. All right, so we're almost melted here. I love the smell of mango butter, I really do. It mixes so nicely with the oils. Now, what I haven't told you about the liquid oils in here. There's Rosehip oil here, there is Sea Buckthorn Oil, and a bit of Meadow foam seed oil, my apologies. A little bit of cucumber oil, and a bit of marula oil. All very rich, skin-loving and hair-loving ingredients. That's right. You could equally use this as a hair conditioner. Most hair conditioner is just a lotion of sorts, although most of what you will buy in the stores has a lot of other ingredients in it. This is very little, but I personally like to use this after, especially in the wintertime. I have very dry hair. It's just the nature of curly hair, and then as your hair grays, it gets even a bit drier. So I really do have to take a lot of care in keeping moisture on my hair, otherwise it gets brittle, and well, you all know how that can be. So these are now cooled down, or melted I should say. All right, so they're at about 105, and I have my goat milk here, which is at 90. So I'm going to let this sit just for about another 10 or so minutes. I want to try to bring them as close together as I can, because the waxes and the butters in here, if I add the goat milk to it while it's cooler than the oils, it will solidify the waxes, the emulsifying wax that's in there. Then we'll just have a big clump of wax, and we won't have a good emulsified potion, which is what we want, right? So I'm gonna let these cool for just a bit, and then we're gonna bring it all together. All right. So we're at close enough temperatures now. So what I'm going to do, I've got my sterilized stick blender here that I'm going to introduce, and then slowly we're going to pour in our milk mixture, our goat milk. And I said mixture because I forgot to tell you there's aloe vera in here as well. Just a small portion. All right, now this particular order is a custom order, and this person requested an almond fragrance. I explained to them that there was no almond essential oil, that the only true way to get an almond scent that she wanted was in a fragrance oil. She understood that, and so I am making this with here, I'll get it for you, with just this almond fragrance oil. Oops, sorry, I'm a little blurry there, aren't I? I may be zoomed into, there you go, it's an almond essential oil, fragrance oil. And it doesn't take very much of this to give a nice fragrance to lotions or creams. I got this straight from a chemist's advice as far as how to use this and what the best way to use it is, and that's how I'm using it. So one moment, I'm going to get the stick blender back on and then add in the fragrance oil. And finally, I'm going to add in the preservative. All right, we're where we want to be. We want to get this bottled before it cools too much because it will start thickening and it makes it harder to get in. But actually this is liquid enough where I can do a direct pour, which is always a pleasure. Well, I say it's a pleasure only because it is easier than having to pipe it. So this is going to be a large, here, let me zoom back. I didn't realize I had still zoomed in. I apologize. So this is going to be in a large 16-ounce bottle. This person wanted a larger bottle. And so we're going to go ahead and get it in our sterilized bottle. Now, you never seal your bottle while your lotion, your salves, your whatever it is you're making. Do not cap it until it has settled and cooled down a bit. You can cover it with a piece of muslin or something if you're not in a still air area. You'd want to cover it with something else that's sterile as well. And give it some taps to break up any air bubbles that form. And in about 20 minutes, this will be a nice thicker cream. And we'll get it labeled and get it ready for shipment. All right, so actually ended up getting 2 bottles out of that. This is what's left over here. So I have taken off my gloves here because I'm not touching anything further here on the table. I had to take them off to show you. I want to show you the actual lotion and what it looks like. So I just wanted to scrape some of the leftovers here into just a bowl because it cools a little faster in the bowl than what's in the bottles. This will sit here for a while because it still has heat in it. So I'm actually going to drop the pumps in but not screw the tops on. Right, good deal. And what I wanted to show you was the actual how this lotion absorbs. So I'm going to just touch a bit of it, rub it on my skin, and I put the glove back on because I want you to see it. I don't want it to soak into my hand. I want to show you how it absorbs into the skin without being greasy. And it just leaves a real nice glow on the skin, and which is why I'm going to call this, actually, although it's a custom blend, I'm calling it Almond Glow because I just think it leaves such a wonderful appearance on the skin. It smells, I will have to wash this off because I can't use most fragrance oils on my skin. It is a strong almond smell. It reminds me a bit of almond extract, but I can already tell it dissipates on the skin once the lotion absorbs in, and it's much more gentle. But anyway, that's it. Like I said, I just have to get the once these completely cool, I'll label them, and hopefully they're what the client wants, and I'll get them shipped off. I hope you all enjoyed this. If you would ever like a custom lotion made of any kind, reach out to me. I'll do my best to put something together for you. All right, have a great day, everyone. It was great seeing you. Goodbye.